3rd, 2012, at the Riley Rock Shelter. We've finished excavating the, it would be 10 south, 0 east quadrant that was under the rock shelter roof. We still have a piece to do up in here on another day underneath that rock. We finished excavating the feature basically ended at the drip line straight down just about. It was probably 2 feet by 20, I think it was 24 by 28, and it went to a depth of like 22 inches. And as soon as it got under that drip line, it ran into these big heavy slabs and there was nothing. All the debitage, all the pottery and bones ceased. We continued to excavate all the way back, finished the square, took that big rock. Yep, that's it, way over there. That big rock was laying way over there, standing upright as a rain deflector, so that if you got on the back side of it, you'd stay dry from the rain and the wind. We've moved that. We also moved the grill rock that was sitting here, that's been there since day one. That grill rock is way down there in the hill. We rolled it all the way using just brute strength. And this rock here was standing on end, and we used just laws of physics and kept twisting it, digging a little hole in the front end of it just so I could twist the rock downhill into a slight depression. Then I would dig a depression on the other side and pivot it. I'm convinced these people could have moved those stones for Stonehenge and the pyramids under the same principle. Rock will move at only a fraction of its weight if you have it set up right. I mean, that boulder, that's probably 300 pounds there, 400 pounds, and I pivoted it all the way from way over there to here, all by myself, with just the aid of a pick. Just putting a little depression in the front, taking that end, pivoting it into the depression, then coming over on this side, lifting at the back, pivoting this front corner into the depression, back and forth, and it only took me 10 minutes to move it that whole distance. So it can be done. Anyways, we found here today pretty much it was a metalwood component that was in the feature. We got a couple of metalwood square base preforms, rather well made. Their knives could have been made into points, some pottery, some bone. We've been through all that, but then we found way in the back, up on that ledge in that area there, when we were pulling it out and sifting, we found a Brewerton side notch. A little short guy, about 1.25 inches. Don't know what depth, just know he come from up in there somewhere. He was not in the feature. And I've had 3 or 4 others just like it, little short guys that come from right over the top of that knoll where I dug for 3 or 4 years back in 2004 through 2008, I believe, somewhere in there. Big site just over the crown of that knob there, and I had, I think, 70 or 80 arrowheads come out of that, full ones, tips and bases, and some of those Brewertons look just like this one. So that was a little different to find that in the sifter. And outside of that, that's about all we got. We got a hammer stone and nothing really else unusual. So we're done down here for today. When we come back, we have to finish this section right here, which has already been dug, but we'll rescreen it and maybe move that slab and maybe move the slab under it, depending on how ambitious we feel and what kind of debitage we find. We did find debitage right up into there. I wouldn't say it went all the way up, but right into there was stuff coming out. Not affiliated with the feature, but definitely that was an activity area. The hearth being down here for sure, because we've never found another hearth, never found any more charcoal except for right in that area. and a lot of tools right where I'm standing, just on the outside of the drip line. And that was an activity area down there where they definitely did some napping and eating, because a lot of small bones. And the gorget was laying right there. The Dina Point right here, beautiful meadowwood points right in there, beautiful meadowwood point up there. So we've been through all this. When we plot it, I think I might bring all the artifacts down here one day, while I still have my grid lines up, and lay them out, and all the better ones, including the whelk that come from in the south unit, just about where my finger is pointing, and the billet was right there. We've yet to re-sift the south unit, and when we get around to totally re-sifting the site, I will bring all the best artifacts down here, place them just about where they were as best as we can, and photograph them. But that's going to be it for today. I'll just show you how much ceiling height is now under here. We re-measured it. It's 30 inches over here on the west wall of the roof line. Midpoint right here is 50 inches. And the corner over here by the tools is 60 inches. It's a full 5 foot here. And you go inside and sit now, you won't crack your head as easy as we once did. So it's quite a bit of headroom in here now, especially if you're a kid. And hunter, fisherman taking shelter from a storm, this is the place you want to be. I know I will if I'm down here in the summer doing work and a thunderstorm comes up. So when we pull out the rest of the south unit, that will lower it by another foot. It'll be probably a full 5 foot all the way through. And people, when they visit, will say, well, no wonder it was a shelter. Look, it's such a nice setup. Well, remember, I've pulled 20 to 24 inches of dirt out of here and made it what it is. It looks like they had about 10 to 12 inches maybe that they were living on. So that would mean, the ground came up about a foot since Vosburg, the really meadowwood guy, was here. Vosburg was deeper. He was down at 19 to 20 inches with the Ulu, which was found out, and the Ulu was there, the Vosburg point was there. One was at 19, one was at 20. But outside of that, most of the artifacts that have been found are at 10 inches or less. And with the exception of the pits, that's a pit, that feature over there in the corner where all that rubble is, that was down 22 inches. But anyways, we got a lot of good measurements, and when we write the report, we'll be able to plot all these different occupations. And it all started 5,000 years ago with Brewerton guy, comes all the way up through Orient Fishtail, Meadowwood, Jack's Well, Fox Creek, Jack's Reef, and Lavana. Those are the diagnostics that are found here. And now we're here today. I did find some fishing line where it proves that the guy who might have had the dog tied around the tree where the nylon cord was in the grill, he might have been a fisherman, because I found a nylon hook setup, and Scary Creek is 150 feet from here. So pretty convinced that's what that guy was doing here, that left the firewood and was using the grill. He was a fisherman. And maybe deer hunted or small game hunted also. Anyways, that's it. It's the 23rd of August, 2012 at the Riley Rock Shelter, and we'll be back on another day to finish up the redig using the 1/4 inch hardware cloth screening.